Friends and lovers and all of the others, welcome to another episode of Pod from the Bunker. My name is Kev. I stream this live on Twitch on Mondays. If you'd like to check it out, my Twitch channel has just popped up beneath me. It's Kev from the Bunker. I do these live on Twitch, but I do put them all on YouTube, and all of the audio podcasts go up to your favorite podcast platform. If you'd like to hit the like and subscribe on YouTube, comment any questions you might have for our guest today. We have a extra special guest today. I'm a little bit more nervous about this because I don't know as much about what I'm talking about. It is Mr. Cotton Smiles. He is a Twitch streamer, a well-known VR streamer. He streams a lot of games that are involving music, so it's very fitting, and he's also a very supportive music fan on Twitch as well. So it's great to have him here today. I'm super excited to pick his brain and learn a little bit more, but I'm going to be asking a lot of questions and listening to a lot of answers. He's also a very fun fellow. They do very fun things over there. They have a good time. So if you'd like to check out in this Twitch chat right now, you can click on his name, Cotton Smiles, and go give him a follow. I'll have all the links below in the YouTube video, so check those out below. And without further ado, let's learn a whole lot more about VR. Beat Saber is one of the games that I know he plays, but all the other games that he plays and how he got to where he is today and why he streams and all the rest of it. All right, where's our button here? Oh no, interview. Cotton, not as smooth as I normally am. That was a little rough on the opening.
That's okay. That's okay. I'll let it slide this time.
Thank you very much for doing this today, man.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate you asking me to come on and talk a little bit about what I do.
Yeah, well, I'm very intrigued. I remember the first time I saw your stream, I was like, "What is going on here?" Because I was very new to streaming, and I was trying to just get a camera and some audio to work. And then I think you maybe rated or came in and chatted, and then I checked out your stream, and I was like, "Holy cow, what is going on here?" So, can you explain to me exactly what you do on Twitch and some of the games you play and how you set up what's going on behind you right now?
Sure thing. Sure thing. Well, as you can see, I'm in digital cyberspace today. What I do is commonly referred to as mixed reality streaming. Mixed reality is a combination of a camera view of me, like the live camera you're seeing of me, and then the digital projection of the game onto a green screen area, which is this room. And so looks like I stand in the middle of the game and play it instead of you just seeing a camera of me wearing a VR headset and the game is like another portion of the screen.
Right.
And so a lot of VR streamers don't have green screen rooms, don't have the luxury of having one. And so so I do the mixed reality where a lot of people they'll just have a camera of them in their room, standing in front of their bed playing the game. And so I approach it a little differently by doing the mixed reality, which it just requires more hardware and software.
Right.
That's really what it is.
And a lot of green walls.
Yeah, so one of the biggest questions I get asked all the time is, so is your room green? How are you doing that? And the answer is yes, the room is green.
Did you paint it that way, or do you use cloth?
I use cloth simply because I felt paint would, it's going to be easier to take down some cloth.
Of course.
And then also on the floor, I have green EVA foam that I stand on. So when I'm jumping and standing for 4 or 5 hours sometimes in VR, I'm actually standing on EVA foam on top of carpet. So
Right.
And I'm in socks, so it's pretty easy on the joints when you're standing. But the rest of it's all green cloth, hung from the ceiling, and then of course big studio lights and all that to make it all work. And so I don't. Yeah, I figured paint. A lot of people do paint, but I didn't want to go through that hassle.
Okay, yeah.
Of painting.
And so what I'm curious about is what I'm seeing is the interface of the game. So like you're touching things on the screen to like in menus and stuff. How does that can you explain that to me? Or what is that would be the menu that you would see in your VR set regardless of me?
Yeah, that's right. When I'm in the VR headset, speaking of which, if you've never seen a VR headset, I've got my VR headset right here, as you can see.
Wild.
This is what I wear now. There's normally a cable that goes to it, but inside there you can see the lenses. That's what I'm looking at.
Okay.
When I'm playing.
Okay.
And so when I'm wearing it, you just see this. And this actually, it's kind of interesting. This model has a very shiny plastic front. I actually vinyl wrapped it because when I turned around and looked at the camera, you're just going to see the reflection of my studio lights.
Right.
And so I vinyl wrapped it, as you can see on
Oh,
the back.
wow.
So I vinyl wrapped it. So when I turn around and look at the camera, you don't get blinded.
It's matte.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So
Very
I,
cool.
so I'm standing there in the headset, and when I'm interacting with the menus, I'm holding a controller that looks exactly like this.
Okay.
And it has a trigger on the bottom, so I can just put my hand in here and I point at things digitally and then click.
Okay.
So that's the interface that you see. That's the game portion of the mixed reality setup
Okay.
of me clicking, pointing something with a controller and then pulling that trigger to make it work.
Now, my next question is how do we get from how do you implement third person on top of everything that's in sync with the first person that's in the corner of your screen? If anybody hasn't seen his streams, we are going to show a portion today, so we will get a clear vision of what's happening. But does the game provide you with that third person view to lay over, or how does that work?
So the third person view is actually I use about for my stream I probably about 6 to 7 different applications running at the same time doing different
Oh,
things.
wow. Okay.
And so, and if any of those applications stop working, well, then of course a portion of the stream stops working,
Okay.
obviously. But the biggest one the one that you're asking about is called Live.
Okay.
It's LIV. It is an application that was made by a group of developers, and they distribute it for free, completely
Wow.
free.
Love it.
That is made specifically for how I use it. Originally, when I started streaming, I think about a little over, well, it's been 40 months now. I've been streaming, so a little over 3 years. It was very, very basic software. Couldn't do a lot, and it was alpha even, and it was quite challenging to get running properly. Today, it's a
course.
much better than it used to be. They put a lot of effort into it. However, back then it was a lot of time. If I would stream 3 hours, I would probably put 30 or 40 hours into
Preparing.
preparing and getting it to work right and getting it to look right. And I wasn't going to just half-ass it. I really wanted to do it properly. And so taking the time to set it up, it was important to me.
Well, it really shines through, man. I must say, like, I am the furthest thing from any sort of gamer, but I'm so enthralled by the way the third person and first person are all working in tandem in real time, and it's like you're literally, it brings me into the game. I can't not be in the game with you, right?
And yeah, and that's one reason I didn't want to stream just the first person point of view. And when I'm talking about the first person point of view, that's just what I see. And when we show the video, you'll see it in the bottom right hand corner. I don't play with just that as the main Twitch stream because that can get a lot of people sick. A lot of
Yeah.
motion sickness
I
can
don't
happen.
even look at it ever once. Like the odd time I'll look down and it's not motion sickness, but it's a lot going on. And I'm like, I'd like to go back to third person. So I have the
Yeah,
choice.
I have the first person view set up because people would ask about it if I don't have it.
Right.
I did turn it off for a while, but then people would say, "Hey, I want to actually see what you're seeing." So I turned it on and I made it small enough so it's non-intrusive and people can see it if they want
I
to.
think it's perfect.
But yeah, so the software presents to me this a virtual camera basically, taking the live feed from a real camera, overlaying it into the game, and then that's what I capture in OBS.
Oh,
And then I do
wow.
some other OBS trickery to capture the first person point of view, and then the overlay and the song information and all the other fun things that happen in the stream
There's
are all
so
triggered by.
much. Streaming is so hard.
I have things triggered by both commands and chat. So, and I have a keyboard in the as you've seen. I can go into a virtual keyboard while I'm wearing the VR headset
Right.
and trigger commands. I also have some. I don't really talk about it a lot, but I have some voice commands set up as well. Um, when I'm on mute, sometimes I'll call out a command and I'll have things happen
Wow.
with voice commands, and I utilize Google Assistant for that.
Wow, dude, this
And
is
so,
so much deeper than I ever expected already, and we barely touched the surface.
well, I mean, I guess I should also put out there that I've been a systems administrator for over 20 years,
Okay.
and so I've been working in IT for a long time,
Okay.
and I've got a lot of experience in a lot of different areas. So it's just putting that expertise into play to have some fun with
Yeah,
it.
I was gonna say something you
Instead of,
enjoy.
yep,
Yeah,
yep,
it's amazing. Okay,
yep.
so the way I wanted to take this is there's two things that I enjoy about what you do. Number one, it's very active. Sweet mug, by the way. Number one, it's
Oh, thanks.
very active. you're I don't know if you have a Fitbit or whatever on, but you're being active as you're
Hmm.
gaming. You're not sitting on a chair like I am right now. You're moving, and honestly, you're exerting yourself quite a bit, and I enjoy that. The second thing I want to bring up is that your stream is reliant on music, and that's what we generally do here on this podcast. So, explain to me how music is implemented into the games you play. What are some of the games that use music to run the whole thing? Like, I know Beat Saber is the big one that we talk about, you and I, but beyond that, is there any other games that we should know about musically that really are driven by the music industry?
There are a couple larger titles out there that are well known, and then one that's actually put out by a decent sized company. So obviously you mentioned Beat Saber.
Mm,
They are ultimately owned by Facebook now, or Meta.
okay.
The developer of Beat Saber was acquired by Meta several years ago. Luckily, they haven't changed too much of it.
Okay.
There's a lot of fear that they were going to make a lot of changes, but they really haven't. So
Right.
it's pretty good.
Great.
The next one is a small indie developer. There's a game called Synth Riders.
Okay. I've
That
seen you play that. Yes.
yes, that is a another music-based rhythm game, and that's what I try to focus on my stream. I don't play a lot of 2D games. Occasionally, I will when I'm just not feeling up to, like you said, the effort of jumping around for a couple hours.
Yeah.
Um, Synth Riders is a very chill game compared to Beat Saber. A lot of people like to compare them. They do have a lot of similarities because they are both music, rhythm games.
Yep.
However, they both have a lot of dynamics, and once you get into it, you can see how different they are. I really like both products or both games for different reasons. Um, One game that the largest company that put out, I think it was Rockstar Games. They put out a game called Audica,
Okay.
and it's by the same company that makes Beat Saber, not Beat Saber, Rock Band
Oh
on
yeah,
the.
Rock Band. That's the yes.
Yeah, I'm almost sure that's who made that game. Yeah, Harmonix. Sorry, it was Harmonix.
Okay.
Yes, they're the largest gaming company that has put out a music rhythm game, and that game is fun, but the learning curve is quite extreme.
Okay.
And so unless you play with it a lot, for example, Audica, I don't have as much time into as a Beat Saber. Audica, I don't know. It says I played it for about 6 hours,
Okay.
compared to about 1,600 hours of Beat Saber.
Right. Okay. So now you're explaining to me that you're playing rhythm-based music game, VR games. Excuse me.
Hmm.
Explain to us before we actually get to a video. We want to talk to you a little bit more. I mean, we're all going to see this, but what is it exactly that you're hitting when you hit the items? Like,
It's
how does
different.
this rhythm work? You say you're getting into a flow. What does that exactly mean? I'm trying to understand from my point of
Sure,
view. Yeah.
sure. So flow is basically as you are taking these two controllers and swinging them around. These are, obviously these weigh a few ounces each,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 6, 7 ounces.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're swinging your arms and you're hitting 9, 10 blocks a second,
Mm-hmm.
um, if you swing wrong, you can hurt yourself
Okay.
because you're swinging very fast. And even though it is only a few ounces, you're swinging very quickly.
Right.
And if you swing wrong, people have hurt their shoulders, hurt
Yeah,
their rotator cuffs playing this game.
of course.
And so flow is generally looked at as the ease of going from one pattern to another that doesn't cause you to jerk your arm or react in a weird way. For example, if I'm going to just swing my arm like this, it's much easier than I got to swing my arm, stop, and then come back
Right.
to do something else. So
Right.
that stopping motion is hard on your body because you've got centrifugal force, and so the flow.
Jolts. Yeah.
So flow is going from one block to another in an easy manner at a fast rate to make sure you don't hurt yourself.
Okay.
Because that's ultimately people do hurt themselves in this game, and there are songs that will come up, and I'll watch it and I'll say that'll hurt your shoulder. I'm not playing that.
Right.
I'm not getting hurt for a video
So
game.
it should your movement should be, like you said, flowing basically.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
I want to use the momentum of the energy I've already spent by moving this controller in another way.
Yeah, because I see that happening. It's a very much like a dance, I would call it. You know.
Exactly. It's very much like a dance.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I'll definitely call out when I'm playing a map. So how this game, how let's talk about Beat Saber. With
Yeah.
Beat Saber, there are of course game songs within the game that like any like rock band comes with, but then of course there's alternate songs you can play. The manufacturer will release some DLC, but there's this large community of third-party mappers. I think, and by mappers, these are people who create gameplay against songs.
Right.
They'll take a song and they'll make the level for that song.
Amazing.
And so and those individual files are called maps. It's the map of the song. And
Okay.
so you'll hear me commonly refer to, oh, that's a great map, or that's a bad map, or that map has great flow. And I'm basically saying the the level for that song that was created has really good flow in the sense that it's fun to play and you're not going to hurt yourself with it.
Yeah, synchronicity almost. Yeah,
Exactly.
yes, I see that. So, and how do you go about getting your music to be mapped? What is that process? You just call them up and go, "Hey, can you do this?" Or
Well, so there are a lot of third-party mappers. You don't necessarily have to go through the original developer to get a song mapped.
okay,
I know a fair amount of them, being in the community for several years now. I know a good amount of mappers, and there are mappers. They all have their different styles, just like musicians have their different
of
styles.
course,
And so there are mappers I definitely gravitate towards because I like how they put a song together in in the
gameplay.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah. And so, like for example, I anytime you want to get a song made, I usually just reach out to a couple people that I have contacts with, and I ask them with their availability
of
to
course.
make something. Alternatively, there is specifically a Discord created for commissioning Beat Saber maps.
Wow.
So the mappers will, log in there and list that, hey, they're open for business, and then people that want to get something done will just go out there and say, I want this song, and then I think it's first come first serve type bidding situation.
Right.
I'm not really sure. I've actually never used the Discord simply because I have personal relationships with some of these mappers
Of
directly.
course. So yeah. So my question is if I was a musician, let's say, which I am, and I didn't know you, which I do,
Mm-hmm.
what if I go into that Discord? What can I expect to provide for that person, or what do I need to know when I go in there with my song? I don't like. There's musicians listening to this podcast, and that's why we're kind of going in this direction.
Sure, sure.
So if I'm not me and I don't know you, and I go into that Discord, which I will link to anybody who would like to have that, I will probably put that available for them. What is the approach? What do we have to do to make that happen?
So there's a couple. It's a very simple process.
Okay.
Basically, you would just lay that out. Hey, I don't know what I'm doing. I want to get some stuff mapped. Who wants to help me? You provide that mapper an audio file, the highest quality audio file you can produce of your song, and then some cover art for it, and then it's a small discussion on what you want. And so in Beat Saber, there's different difficulty levels,
Right.
and you can have there's the expert plus the top level, and then there's easy, and there's I think there's 5 levels in total. And so they'll ask you, what levels do you want, how many different difficulties do you want, and that's all something you negotiate with the mapper, because there's different prices for different
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, that's what I was
Sure.
gonna ask next.
Yep.
Is like we can expect a range from maybe $100 from a new guy who's trying to test it out, maybe to $10,000 from a crazy guy who's doing. I don't know what's the range.
So it's usually by minute.
Okay.
And so if a song is about 3 minutes and 40 seconds, they're just going to round up to 4 minutes.
Okay.
And it's usually, now if it's 2 minutes and 10 seconds, they probably won't round up. But and that's part of the negotiation process. Songs generally aren't that expensive considering all the other money that musicians put into their setup. For example, I've seen songs get mapped for as low as $50, $60, all the way up to $250,
Okay.
depending on that's for one individual song. The higher end being that you have more difficulty levels. For example, I helped a musician get some songs mapped about 6 or 8 months ago, and this band is more family friendly. And so now I of course wanted a top tier level, because those are the ones that I enjoy playing. But I realized that not everyone can play what I play. So because it's family friendly, I had them make an easy one as
Right.
well, so kids can play. So the 7 or 10 year old can play at home, and or their parents can play who have never played before,
Right.
that want
Right.
to enjoy the music. And so I did pay a little extra for their songs, simply because I wanted to include difficulty levels. Looking at the artist and looking at what that song was about, I knew kids were going to listen to it and
Yeah.
probably want to play it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Very cool that you're connecting all these dots. I think there's almost like a business there for you. Like,
Yeah, it definitely is. It's
lost you. I lost your audio. Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, guys, you're gonna have to hold on. I don't think he knows that. Can you guys hear him? No, you cannot hear him. You can hear me. We have some tech difficulties, which is fine. This happens. This happens all the time. You can hear me though. We were in a great conversation there, which is great. I have post audio. We can edit this, no problem. Let me get back over here and see what's going on.
Hey, there we go. I can hear you now.
Oh, same with you. I don't know what happened. I lost you as well. That was just a blip
Well,
in the matrix. That's what.
I don't know. I could see you, but I saw it in stream, but I have no idea.
Well, the stream could hear me too. I lost your audio. Wow, so weird.
Oh well.
That's what I
The
call.
joys of live podcasting.
Yeah,
huh?
well, that's what I call a gremlin. It's just like, well, I know Island Vibing calls it gremlins too. They just get into your wires and start chewing them up somehow, and you didn't even see them get there.
Believe me, as an IT guy,
Oh.
I have to battle them constantly.
Yeah, where did that come from? Okay,
I don't know.
so where were we here?
And
We
I was basically just saying that the game has changed quite a bit, and it's a lot to keep up with. Yeah, I don't put as much time into the stream because as I used to, simply because the software I use is so much better. You know, if I say I use half a dozen different applications to compose the stream, all those applications have gotten better over the past 3 years.
Right.
So it just lessens the amount of time I need to spend trying.
And we're not back. They can hear you. They can't see you. One sec here. I need to.
Uh-oh.
Well, he's doing dangerous things. Pineapple.
That's right.
That's my safety word. All right, let me get your copy your link. You know, the beauty of post-production, everyone, is I'm going to make this look like nothing ever happened. So if you want to watch this flawlessly on YouTube, you can do that. Ready? And there he is. Drum roll.
Am I back?
He's back.
I'm on the air, it says. All right.
Amazing. All right, so let's try to go back to where we were there. I was asking you about musicians and, the cost. We got through the cost of that, and then we were talking about difficulty levels, and where were we after that?
Yeah, so you had mentioned a business opportunity.
Yeah.
And
Yes. There we go.
Yeah, I was yep, and and it is a lot to keep moving.
Sure.
There are people there I know of mappers that have quit their full-time job and all they do is map now. It's not something where there's enough business from individuals coming and asking for a song. What these mappers have done is been around the community long enough to make inroads with different developers who are making music-based rhythm games, and so now they create maps for all kinds of different games now.
Yeah.
And so while they'll go through the development cycle of a specific game and map some things, and that of course that project wraps up, and then a different developer that they've been working with has a new round of stuff they need.
Right.
So and then of course they do the freelance on the side as well.
Amazing, man. So if you're a musician out there and you're looking for this, I will put the Discord available that we did mention, and you just go in there and the community is pretty chill. So you can just ask them, hey, I need some help and I would love to be a part of this and I'd love to get my song in this. I would mention, especially to electronic musicians and DJs out there, if you're doing mixes and stuff that are all your music, I'm not sure you could be throwing the Biggie Smalls in there and stuff like that. You're going to get DMCA'd, and how does that work?
So it's a little gray area when it comes to
Okay.
Twitch and DMCA. So if you notice when you watch my stream, most of the songs that you're going to hear are copyrighted.
Right.
And so what happens is obviously I could be struck down with DMCA at any time
Okay.
for any of those songs. However, I take precautions with my stream so I don't. For example, I don't have any VODs
I looked for them.
enabled. Yep.
I was looking
And
for them.
I do that simply because on Twitch they will scan the VODs for copyrighted music. If there's no VODs, no VODs to scan.
Right.
And same thing with clips. Now there are clips of me standing in mixed reality on my channel, but none of them have music.
Right.
Or if they do, they're music that isn't copyrighted and it doesn't matter. And so, or I know the people that have the copyright. Uh,
Well,
so
that's
it's
the
not a
other
big deal.
thing is I want to mention to you and ask you or discuss at least is like I own my music. However, I put it up on digital streaming platforms through a third party called, I mean, there's a number of them. I happen to use CD Baby. There's Gig
Hmm.
Shark or whatever they are. There's a bunch of them out there. So now what that company does is they go out on YouTube, I guess, and collect money for me if someone
Hmm.
is using my song. So if it's in your video, any funds that would be earned, I get a portion of them because my music is playing. So now,
Hmm.
if I have my music in your stream, I'm totally okay with that. But how, like, I don't know what to do. Where is that line got to go? How do we fix that? Where I can just go, like, check it off on a box, maybe on the back end of their website to say, allow this to be used in video games, or how does that work?
Yeah, and I don't know the distributor side of it.
Hmm.
However, I know in Beat Saber, I don't know of an actual way you could allow it.
Right.
In Beat Saber, you could give your blessing to have it. Right now, there's like I think I mentioned there's about 50,000 songs available for Beat Saber, and I'm gonna guess majority of those don't have the okay from the artist, simply
Right.
because they're taking large Taylor Swift and large artists
Of course.
that that
Popular and
probably
fun.
don't even know Beat Saber exists.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I don't think there is a way to allow it. I originally, when I set up my stream, I wished there was some sort of some service that I could pay, like a Spotify for Twitch streamers. That,
Right.
hey, I will pay for this. I don't necessarily want this for free. I will pay
Hmm.
a couple $100 a month, $100 a month. I don't know, just for the rights to use the
Right.
songs in the game. And now it could be but that's so hard to do when there's
Well,
50,000 songs and.
there's a way that works. In Canada, we have a thing called SOCAN. In the US, they have BMI and ASCAP. And so how this works is if you own a bar or even a yoga studio or a barbershop and you play music in it, you pay $100 a year, and that
Mhm.
allows you to put the radio on in your establishment. You have an establishment that is earning money, and there's music
Mhm.
on in that establishment, and it makes that establishment better. And if you turn the music off and it's a silent barbershop, it's very weird to hear just hear scissors going, or if
That's
it's a
right.
silent, what mall, whatever it is. So we in Canada we use SOCAN. SOCAN will hopefully the businesses are willing to do that like yourself. So my idea was maybe there's a digital version of that. Can we have a digital version of international song rights payments? Here's $100
I
a year. It's not a lot of that's 30 cents a day, you know.
Yeah, I would definitely be up for paying that. I've always said that since day one of my stream that I wish
Hmm.
I could, and I would gladly pay it,
Hmm.
because I value the artists, especially the artists on Twitch, for example.
Well, I know
I
this.
value the artists, and I want to see them succeed. And me playing Taylor Swift song, granted she's probably not going to lose the penny I would have paid her, but on the other hand, there are artists that would gladly love that penny.
Of course, or even the
And
fact that there's a bunch of people watching your stream, and I mean that my music is exposed to a whole new group of people. I'm so grateful
yep.
for that. So
Yeah, and that's another reason that I decided to start streaming music-based rhythm games, simply because it it's exposed myself and a lot of people in my community to new music.
of
And there
course,
are there are bands and groups I would have never even heard of before if it wasn't for me playing Beat Saber.
and that's because the algorithm on Spotify and or Apple Music and or whatever just pushes the same pop song to the top. So we all get
Yep.
introduced to the same songs, whereas Beat Saber maybe doesn't have that same thing, and you can kind of explore and kind of pick your own journey instead of be driven down a journey, if that makes sense.
Exactly. And how I run my stream is I almost never play a song of my choosing. Almost 100% of the songs that I play is all driven by chat. So you can come
Awesome.
into my stream, go to the list of 50,000 songs, pick one, and throw it in. So you're going to have people in other countries, other continents,
Yeah.
playing songs from their local artists that have been mapped. And I hear some really weird stuff. And this is a Swedish folk song. Oh,
Awesome.
okay, I didn't know that.
Right
And
on.
but they're great, and so I get exposed to not only different music within the English speaking world. I get exposed to music all around the world. Even if I can't understand what they're saying, that doesn't mean I can't enjoy the song.
No, because rhythm is so much of the
Hmm.
music. We can all dance to a song. It doesn't matter what the language is. We can all dance.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
that's such a beautiful part, I believe. And we talk always about sharing music and how it brings people together. And what I love about it is you're almost having a dance party digitally with your friends.
Yep.
And you're playing a game and you're supporting art. And beyond having doing Beat Saber as your main game or rhythm based music games, you also are
Hmm.
always on Twitch in music streams, subbing, gifting out, bidding, and like it's happen. It's just I want to say thank you to you for being such an
Oh,
awesome supporter of music and your community as well. I know when you guys rate a musician, you all show so much love to them, and that's why you're on here today, because I know this is a music driven podcast, but I do it on Twitch, and you're one of my great friends on Twitch, and I just from the bottom of my heart thank you from us, all of us here on Twitch, for everything you do. And I know that you're also a tech guy, and I'm sure you've helped many people with little blips along the way as well. So
yeah, I have helped a fair amount of Twitch streamers fix their little glitches. And music really has been a part of my life for many years now. And pre-pandemic, my wife and I would go out and we'd see a concert or two a month almost,
yeah.
um, year round, and it was great. But of course, pandemic hits, you can't do that anymore, and so I decided, I was already on Twitch. I came to Twitch probably 5 or 6 years ago,
Hmm.
and it wasn't on the music side. The music side wasn't very large back then. I was more in the creative side. I got sucked into by a streamer that was a very talented artist. Sadly, doesn't stream creative anymore, but started watching that and didn't consider streaming myself at all. So I went to visit a friend who had streamed a mixed reality, Beat Saber, kind of off and on. And I didn't want to buy Beat Saber or buy a VR headset because they're expensive. I wanted to try it first simply because I get motion sickness,
Okay.
and VR is known for that. I didn't want to spend a lot of money on a system that was just going to make me puke.
Yeah, of course.
And that's why one reason I kind of focused on the games I focus on is, if you notice, the games are always coming to me. I'm not walking through a field, or
Right.
I gotta travel down a road. Everything, I stand in one place and everything comes at me.
Right.
That's the easiest way to avoid motion sickness in
Okay.
VR, is the way you move. And if you're not moving around in your environment other than physically, 5, 6 feet either way, you're not going to get sick. Or
Wow.
generally, people don't get sick.
Brilliant.
And so that's one reason I do what I do. A, because I won't get motion sickness. It does bring music into it, and I did stream a little bit on his channel, a couple hours of the game, and thought this is a lot of fun. I came home, bought my own setup for VR. Still didn't plan on streaming it, and started playing. And I found that the fun of the game included the stream aspect of it. I mean,
Okay.
it's fun to stand there by yourself in a room and play Beat Saber,
Yeah.
but when you have your friends to rib you,
Yeah.
or pick the songs you're going to play,
Yeah.
or all have a laugh at something, that is what makes the game fun. The game is basically background music to the party that's going on in the stream and the chat.
Right. A dance
How I
party.
look at it. Yeah,
Yes.
that's how I look at it. Yeah, I'm playing the game, but that doesn't mean I'm not watching chat and watching what's going on and laughing with people and having fun.
Right.
And so that's really where the stream comes from. Is it's just a big party for us to hang out and get experience, with new music.
Hmm.
And so when the pandemic hit, of course, all that music, live entertainment went away.
Hmm.
And so I'm just like a lot of musicians did, I'm sure yourself included. You turned to Twitch to try to make some income because you couldn't go out and earn a living anymore.
Hmm.
And so we did the same thing as viewers, of lovers of music. My
Yeah.
wife and I, we put up massive LED arrays within the first floor of our house. That's all music driven. So when we're like watching you play, Kev, our whole first floor is flashing
Oh
to your
wow.
music. And so I've got 3 or 4 strands of LED lights hidden. You don't see them normally, and then when I turn them on, the whole place lights up.
That's
It's
cool.
like a
So
dance party.
cool. Yeah.
I figured, if we can't go out and have fun at a live event, let's bring the best of a live event we can internally into the house.
Absolutely.
So let's set up some lights, let's have some music. And that's when we started exploring the music side of Twitch, ran into yourself and so many wonderful musicians. And I figure if I'm going to go out on a Friday night and see a lesser known artist and I'm going to pay, 15, $20 a ticket, $10, something like that for two people or three, per ticket. I'm going to, grab a couple drinks. I'm probably going to drop $100.
Yeah. Parking and whatever the hell. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So if I'm watching a Twitch streamer, I avoid all that. I bought my beer at a cheap, in a 12-pack and all that. So I feel some of that money should go to the artists because I'm enjoying what they're putting out.
I'm so
It's no different than me going to a club.
Yeah, that's so great. I'm grateful, man. I just can't say thank you enough.
And so that's why when we come into streams, we're generous because we realize, especially people on that have come to Twitch in the past couple of years, this is likely how they're earning some money to stay afloat.
Of course.
And
the IT guy comes on. Oh, I think I just lost him again. What does that say?
No, I'm here.
Okay, what does that say? I got to get you back in the chat. They can't see you, but they can hear you.
Oh, they can't me? Okay, yeah. Send nudes. Yeah.
Send nudes. Oh, you are back. Okay, they could see you.
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, boy. I'm all over the place today. Whew.
Yeah, well, that's okay. I mean, it happens.
Awesome.
No
Well,
deal.
dude, I think what we're building up to is I am so stoked. I haven't watched it. You sent me the file. What I did do is I scrolled through the video and stopped on one still frame to look at the fact that Cotton Smiles has had my song Aces mapped out in Beat Saber and it's played the level. And so what we're going to do right now is I'm going to play it. I'm going to see it for the first time. I would like to leave my video on there, but you know what? We're just going to let the full screen go and you guys can enjoy. This is the first run, right? This is the first real sort of run through.
So let me explain how we got here.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so I contacted a mapper who I've become friends with over the past year or two. Really nice guy over in Europe. He took your song and made a map of it, provided it to me. Offline, I played it a few times, provided some notes back, and we went back and forth a few times. And then I produced the final file. And so then I, of course, took the final file and recorded this video for you, and feel free to use it on YouTube or wherever you'd like to use it.
Well, it will be on YouTube right now because this is going to be there, and I'm going to.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, absolutely, so unbelievably grateful. This is going to be the first time I've seen it. Anyone in my community who is here, they already know who you are. I'm sure they already follow you. But anyone who doesn't follow and they're in the chat right now, I brought up Cotton's link. Everyone who's watching this on YouTube, Cotton's link is below, along with a Discord where you can get your song mapped out to do this. I think this is super unbelievable, and I'm just smitten. So I'm going to take it over to full screen. I'm going to mute myself, even though the computer's been muting us all day for no apparent reason. I'm actually going to purposely mute myself. And Cotton, if you could just hold yourself over there, we're gonna let this play through. Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Here we go. Let's do it. Aces on Beat Saber with Cotton Smiles, the craziest 1-2 punch you've ever seen. Let's go.
Fill the full house, fill the blank spaces. Move the cards around, make a home, make a statement. It's so hard to be loving you. We've been holding a 7 and a 2. But our love, it could change with the bluff or a fake right now. Go all in with me. We'll deal with any hand, a king and queen can. Don't you fold on me. If we could keep a pair of straight faces, no matter what the case is, darling, we're aces. Darling, we're aces. Slow play always. First a check, then a slide race. Keep your mind on the right track. There ain't any limit on a short stack. If you hit me on the turn card, place your best bet. I know it's been hard. flip of a chip right now. Go all in with me. We'll deal with any hand a king and queen can. Don't you fold on me. If we could keep a pair of straight faces, no matter what the case is, darling, we're aces. Hold my hand and we'll make this better hand than they gave us. Baby, we're aces. Go all in with me. We'll deal with any hand a king and queen can. Don't you fold on me. If we could keep a pair of straight faces, no matter what the case is, hold my hand and we'll make this. No matter what the case is, darling, we're aces. Go all in with me, darling, we're aces. Go all in with me, we're holding aces. Go all in with me, darling, we're aces.
My dude, absolutely wild. Oh, thank goodness for post production, because
Absolutely.
I tried to move your
No, that was
name
a
out.
lot of, it was a lot of fun. Getting that mapped and going through that whole process. I've done it a
Man.
few times now. It was a lot of fun though.
I'm so flattered and smitten. It's like very cool for me to say that my song is in a video game. So all you musicians out there watching, if you'd like that same accolade, it's somewhere between $50, $250, depending on the levels you want. Go to the Discord, find someone, and commission them to do it. I mean, these artists, these mappers are artists in their own right. They're melding
Absolutely.
my music with Cotton's dance. They're almost bringing the two of us together in one, which is super cool. So I say support them out there.
And they can get pretty intense. That was a very straightforward map, but you can get what we call wall maps, or basically they're works of art that you have a whole scenes put together, and it's not just walls and blocks. It can get pretty crazy. Now that
Yeah.
stuff gets expensive because it's a labor intensive,
Of course.
but there's some pretty neat stuff that people can do.
So I have a few.
And
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say that song will be available here shortly for anyone to play on Beat Saber.
Oh, amazing.
that-
man.
They'll be able to go to the website, and I'll provide that to you so you can put it on the YouTube
Oh, dude, thank
description.
you. Thank you so much. That's going to be a publicly playable game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude.
Absolutely.
And so how do these, my next question is I have a couple questions about the gameplay, but first about the song.
Sure.
How do these, I don't know how to ask my question here. Anyways, let's go to the gameplay. When those walls are coming by you, you're kind of stepping out of the way. Is that just because of your reactionary, or is it part of the scoring that you're not supposed to be in the way of those things as you're hitting the diamonds?
The walls are made for a couple different reasons. Number one, it is part of the difficulty of the song. If my headset passes through one of those walls, I lose points and energy, and I could ultimately fail out of the game. Meaning,
Okay.
I just lose that. So I have to be able to move. I have to move out of the way so I don't fail out of the song. Because if I do, that's what will happen. Also, when you're looking at the third person point of view, you see transparent boxes just with the outlines.
Yes.
But to me, in the game, they are solid. I do not
Okay.
see through them.
Oh.
So when I see a wall coming at me, I have to move out of the way to be able to see the blocks that are coming next.
Right. And
And
they also bounce and
and-
change direction too.
Yep, exactly. And so I have to keep my eye on the blocks that are coming, and if I have to move out of the way to do that, if the walls were solid in the third person point of view, you wouldn't see a lot of me because you see a bunch of walls going by. So in the
Right.
third person point of view, they're outlined, so you can actually watch the gameplay happen. But inside, I can't see through them. I can kind of translucent. I can kind of see a little bit through them, but when I'm playing, you really don't pay attention to it because you don't have to usually look through the walls.
Right. So I've seen
Sometimes
you. I've seen you with a sweaty T-shirt in your streams many a times.
Oh yeah.
As an IT guy, and how is this for like getting your heart rate up and getting your 20 minutes exercise in? Like, this can be a really great tool for some people, I think. So how does that work for you? Is this your workout program sort of thing? Because it definitely could be.
It generally is.
Yeah.
I used to do other activities before Beat Saber, and those have kind of fallen off because I'm standing usually on a typical week anywhere from 8 to 12 hours a week. I'm standing and jumping around and playing Beat Saber, and yeah, I'll go through a liter or two of water in 3 to 4 hours of playing.
Yeah.
And I
Amazing.
generally don't. Sometimes I'll stream only 2 hours, but if I'm going to stream Beat Saber, it'll at least be 3, sometimes 4. The longest I've gone is like 5.5 hours.
You say standing, but I don't see you standing much. You're moving a lot. You're moving your body,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
things
That's
are. Yeah.
exactly, and it's no different than the flow of the game. Moving my body around the walls and with the blocks is just using momentum. I'm already spending the energy to step to the right. Why not use that energy to have some fun with it?
Right.
And so that's where the dancing and the kind of the flow came in, is just because why not make it fun?
Yeah, man.
And
You're not
I
standing
see a
there
lot
just
of
swinging your arms, is what we're saying. Like you said, I saw him moving to the beat and actually exerting himself a little extra than he needs to make it more fun. For me, watching it is.
Yeah, in fact, there are people who play that stand in one place or they'll step to the right or left a little bit and just swing as fast as they can. That's all they do, and that's completely a very legitimate way to play. But I find that way very boring.
Yeah. No, yours is
In
entertaining.
fact, I actually refer to it as jerking squirrels. Because if you're standing in one place and all you're doing is moving your hands right in front of you and the camera behind you, all you see is sabers moving just a little bit. Well, what does it look like you're doing?
I need a clip of that to cut in. I'm gonna find one on YouTube. Chicken squirrels.
Yeah, it definitely. I don't play like that.
Right. And no, that was very enjoyable. And as everyone saw, it's entertaining to watch. So, like, if you'd like to go watch him from the YouTube video, just please go click on the link, click a follow, and just check it out and hang out. I'm going to be honest. I've watched this guy eat a bag of dicks before, and that's a fact.
I have. Yeah. Yeah, there was that stuff at the beginning of last year.
But
that was a couple months.
I mean, what I'm trying to say is it is a party. It's fun. You make it lighthearted. You're getting some exercise in. To be honest, there's so much fun going on. There's no doubt that I'm dancing in my seat and moving myself a little bit. We can all get up and have a little bit of dance party from home. You're making it like you said, like a concert almost. This is like a rave.
Yeah.
We're just having a great time.
Yeah. Basically how I think about it is if it makes me laugh when I come up with the idea or I think of something, I'm going to put effort into it to try to integrate it to the screen just because it's making me laugh. I don't care if anyone else laughs. I'm going to laugh.
I like
and that's usually people will laugh with me or at me. Honestly, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're just here to entertain. I think that I showed a friend what I was like, oh, I'm interviewing this, streamer, and they did this great thing for me, and I tried to show them. That's why I was looking for some VODs. And the first thing they said when they saw a clip was, "Love the socks." So that's again, a great marketing tool. He's got patterned socks. Are they always patterned? They're pretty often patterned.
They're always pattern of some sort. Like for the Aces song, I'm wearing Aces socks.
Okay, I didn't.
But I have a drawer full of all kinds of socks, from socks that say bacon to Freddy Krueger socks to whatever, and sometimes they'll be themed for the day, sometimes not. It's just randomly what I feel like wearing for the day.
Yeah.
I wanted to wear socks on stream because it was a little less friction.
Yeah.
And if I'm dancing and moving and I'm sweating, then it's just easier to play in socks.
Of course.
Well, I started just with black socks, and then I'm like, I could have fun with this.
Yeah.
And so, I just started having fun with them. Like, how can I make this more fun?
Yeah.
And that's where the theme socks came from.
Man.
But yeah, that's where that was born of. And
all of these little things that come together. I mean, I know there's 12 programs running. It's not little, but all these little extra little things that you add in, they just make it such a great thing. I don't watch any game streams, not a single one, except for yours. The odd time I'll come in, and I love watching and seeing what's going on because it's just a party, man. It's a good time. So if I could ask everyone, please out there, if you're watching right now in stream, please go follow our friend. Anything else that you want to mention about this whole, what I'd like to ask actually is, where do you see this going? What is the next step from Beat Saber in your mind?
That's a great question. Obviously, this isn't going to last forever. My body physically won't be able to do it at some point.
Right.
So I won't be able to move and hit 10, 11 blocks a second. In fact, some of the top tier Beat Saber players in the world are 12.
Yeah.
And so I can't compete with a 13-year-old
Yeah.
when it comes to their dexterity and their ability to heal faster.
Right. So what do you think? What do you think?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't really thought too much about that. There's all kinds of different angles you can take with VR. I haven't thought about it because I haven't had to.
Right.
I'm still in good health. I still play. I'm able-bodied. I'm going to probably consider that once I'm not able to keep up anymore.
Yeah.
Simply because the technology is moving so fast. I mean, in the past 3 years, we've advanced quite dramatically.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's 3 years from now when I decide I'm not going to stop, or 6 months, I don't know. I mean, I've never had. If you would have told me 40 months ago that I'd be streaming 40 months later Beat Saber, I would have told you you're crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just haven't stopped. And so I think what'll probably happen is I'm going to look out there. What is the bleeding edge? What is just about to hit?
Can I give you my idea?
Go for it. Yeah, absolutely.
You are going to be the first VR concert promoter on
I
the
hope
platform.
that'd be awesome.
So what you're going to do is you're going to be putting together digital venues, and you're going to be hiring me, and I'm going to be doing whatever I need to do to you're going to mail me a camera. I mean, this is the future. I'm going to put that camera on me, and it's going to make an avatar of me, and I'm going to perform my songs on a stage, and y'all are going to be sitting in a digital field of sorts. It was watching that show from your home, but even more like we're at the actual festival. Last night I went and saw the Lumineers, and I thought to myself, everyone had their phone lights in the air for like the lighters, and you and I, at the age we are at, we burned our fingers holding an actual lighter up, and the wind's blowing it out every time. Last night there wouldn't have been a single lighter. It was so windy, but it looked beautiful. And I'm like, okay, this is the advancement of what's happening. Like, this is a small pinch of technology touching concerts. Where does this go in 20 years? Live music on the internet and these Twitch things mixed with what you're doing. So I think think about that. Where does that go as an IT guy? Can you create that land, and can you, I'll be the first to try it out,
Yeah, absolutely. That is something that's already in the works from several different companies. What you're basically describing as far as digital meetup areas.
Okay.
And I was able to experience the whole flashlight or the phone light thing as well a couple weeks ago. I went to an outside concert.
Amazing.
With, I think it was about 14,000 people there, and everyone had their phone up.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, this is so different today than it used to be.
But it was still beautiful in its own right. I was a little bit upset about it because it wasn't analog, like a lighter. And that was such a struggle for us. But then I was like, it's beautiful in its own right. This is a digital lighter, and so it's moving that way. Anyways, onward. Sorry.
So yeah, I think you're right about but that kind of stuff. The pandemic has taught us a lot about how we enjoy entertainment, how we enjoy technology, and so I think we're going to see some very creative things from people that grew up, turned 20 when the pandemic hit. They didn't know what to do.
Right.
So we're going to have the next smart guys coming up with all these ideas that they had different influences than we had when we were that age, because we didn't have a pandemic. We didn't have all this technology we have today.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really looking forward to what comes from the next generation as far as technology, because the exact kind of diversity of people and technology, and everyone's connected now. It's gonna make some wacky things.
We all have friends all over the globe now. It's and we connect, and it doesn't matter creed or race or color or religion or any. We don't care about that. We just are there to enjoy each other's presence, And
when it's a virtual avatar, everybody's the same color, everybody's the same nationality. It doesn't matter.
Let's make us all Simpsons. We're all yellow.
Yep, exactly.
We're the Simpsons, and we can just go in there and just be and just enjoy, and there's no judgment. I think it does take away a lot of that stuff, because last night I was at the concert and I was thinking to myself, I like to dance a little bit, but there's just something in the back of your head. It's like, oh, well, someone going to think you're weird if you dance weird. If I was in a digital mixed reality world at that concert, you better believe I would be doing the worm. across the front, you know,
I would love to see you do the worm, Kev.
in mixed reality, of course. Yes, not in real
Of
life.
course.
I'm typing, I'm like, do the worm, and I'm like digitally telling my avatar to do it. Yeah, I just think there's a place where at one point we've already our worlds have already collided, and I just think that is going to continue to happen. And I'm very grateful for a guy like you, and you know, bringing your expertise to the music world and just support and everything. I just think it's very interesting what you do and how you come about your love and support for music. So I want to say thank you for doing this. Sorry about all the little blips today. As an IT guy, I said in chat earlier, I get an IT guy in the show and everything just goes to absolute shit. And I'm like,
That's usually how it happens.
The one guy I kind of want to impress and just make it smooth with.
Well, that's okay, Kev. You can play instruments, and I don't play a single one.
Yeah.
So that amazes me.
Right. Everybody has their own thing, though, dude. And what you do is very cool. And the way that you market with all of your emotes and your merch and everything, I'm sure everyone can get those links through your Twitch channel.
I actually don't have any merch.
Oh, you just give it away because you've given me some.
I give any merch that I distribute. I usually just give away. This mug, it was a Christmas present someone made for me.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, you know, just clowning around on the back.
Oh.
It was a Christmas gift from a good friend, and so that's a lot of stuff I have with my logo and stuff on it. Are people doing artwork? I have stained glass glasses that are etched with this logo.
Oh.
I have other people are taking their art and creative abilities with my stuff with my logo, making things for me. In fact, someone even made a custom tumbler for my wife, because he found out what she liked and was going to send me the mug, so she got something as well. So it's been a fun ride of seeing all the other creative aspects of people using some of this. And in fact, the mask I sent you, I had another great friend who's a great seamstress make all those masks. And
wow.
Well, hey, everybody, let's get some fun masks out there, because everyone's got to wear them. Nobody wants to, but holy crap, let's have some fun.
I will say that was one of my most leaned on masks. It was one of the most comfortable masks that I had. And the embroidery, it was a great piece of merch, dude. It wasn't shit.
Yeah.
You know, like you can get crappy stuff out there. I got a mask and a couple stickers and a window logo, and they were all high quality and great stuff, man. So thank you for doing that for me.
You're welcome.
And you know what? I don't know how I could ever repay you for the fact that you got the first song of mine on a video game ever in my history of my life and career, which is very super cool, dude. I'm like super smitten about it, and I'm really looking forward to bragging to my friends about it.
Absolutely, brag away.
And I have no one to thank but you. You did all of the work for me. So musicians out there, if you're not lucky enough to have the greatest friend on the planet, you know, take care of you like my friend Cotton Smiles did for me. Just go and do some work. You can do this, people. I mean, you can do this yourselves, and it's such a cool accolade to have on your resume when you're a musician.
And for what it's worth, you know, I'm more than willing to point people in the right direction. They can send me a message on Twitch.
Cool.
With my username. So I feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I help people all the time. That's in fact one of the reasons, one of the things I do with my stream is people will come in and ask questions all the time, more specifically about mixed reality or Beat Saber or VR. But I'm always willing to help someone because I can understand having a question, not being able to find an answer and being frustrated, and then seeing someone doing it successfully, and then how the heck did they do that?
Yeah.
I have no problem answering questions.
Yeah.
And so it's as much an education as it is fun.
Yeah. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for being such a kind soul, and thank you for doing this with me today. What I would like to do is let you have the rest of your evening, because we've already taken well over an hour of your time. I'm going to take this podcast. I'm going to take all that rubbish that happened. I'm going to make it disappear. And then I'm going to put this on YouTube. So I'll let you. Live is amazing, but so is post-production. Post-production is also amazing. So, dude, thank you very much for your time. I'm going to let you have the rest of the night. I'm going to close this show out, and you take care of yourself until next time, dude. Okay. And we'll be in touch very soon.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Kev, for having me. And I appreciate being on it.
I can't wait to be in your stream again, man. Thank you very much. Take care.
Later.
We did it. Another one bites the dust. Welcome back to me. Oh, guys, I couldn't believe how many times that fell apart. Was that not an amazing I didn't know how that was going to go, but I'm very pleased with it. I must say that. Other than the tech aspects, that was great information for you musicians out there. It was fantastic to learn a little bit more about mixed reality, to learn a little bit more about he runs 6-7 software programs to make that third-party thing run, which is absolutely insane, everyone. So if you're not already following, please, in the chat right now, Miss Rhonda, my moderator, has already put it in there, but please go follow Cotton Smiles. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe. If you comment something for Cotton, I will make sure that he hears it. So if you're looking for any information on any of this stuff, please make sure that you absolutely reach out in the comment section on the YouTube. I want to thank everybody who's here right now. Thank you so very much for watching and putting up with all that craziness that's going on. We had a couple, again, I'm not going to pretend it didn't happen. I have an IT guy on, and the thing just blows up 6 times in a row. It worked perfectly for all the other musicians who don't care about the tech. Crazy. Cotton Smiles, I see you in chat there. Thank you very much, man. You're an absolute legend. Anyone, if you want to follow me on Twitch, it's Kev from the Bunker. I already hit the socials, but I'll hit them again. Everything is below me here. Please go, if you're in Twitch right now, and give me a little bit of a love on YouTube. I'm so close to the 1,000 subscribers, and I just want to kind of get there. So thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm going to pass it over. It is Murphy's Law, exactly. I'm going to pass it over to our moderators right now, and I'm sure they've discussed who we're going to raid, but we're going to raid another musician. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and until next time, please keep it between the mustard and the mayonnaise. I love you.